What's up, everybody? It's your man JFILT from howtomakeverysickbeats.com. Welcome to another edition of Learn How to Sample Like in collaboration with the good folks over at Tracklib, where we'll be breaking down sample flipping, crate digging, and production techniques. In this episode, the beautiful, dark, twisted Kanye West. So let's get into it. So basically, if you're not familiar with Tracklib, real quick, this is a dope resource for you to crate dig and get your samples cleared. This is a subscription-based service and it's off the chain, and we're going to go through some stuff. The inspiration for the beat that I'm going to show later on comes from the project from Kanye West, My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. You know, that's to me, it's a masterpiece. The thing about that album is Kanye, when he was searching and digging for samples, because we all know he's a sampler, he wasn't really searching for specific genres or anything like that. He was going for a feeling, and that's what I want to do right now. I want to go for a certain feeling. I want to go for tracks and hooks that will give me a certain emotion, okay? Let's go to these genres and we'll pick like a combination, all right? So let's do electronic, we'll do folk, soul, and maybe rock, something like that, right? And then let's go to region. I definitely want to use maybe Middle East, Pacific, Africa. Yeah, let's get this, all Africa. Because I'm gonna look for some tribal stuff too, maybe some North America. Maybe some Western Europe. This is an example of the kind of stuff that pops up, man. So I'm just looking for a bunch of samples and digging. One thing you can do is when you go through these samples, you can set favorites or make up your own collection. So that's what I did over here. I called it Kanye-esque, right? And so that was just me collecting a bunch of samples that I found. For example, a drum break. This is crazy. Another thing I want to say real quick is Kanye flew in a lot of singers and instrumentalists, you know, for this project. So everyone can't afford that. You know, they just have these singers and great singers and come in and do hooks and all that stuff, instrumentals, and play that stuff. And that's where Tracklib comes in. You can actually find vocalists like stems and everything. And that's what I did here. This is another one, vocalist I found. Check this out.
And I could climb your walls and I clean up my stitches.
You know what I'm saying? So those are lead vocals. Another thing I was looking for again was something emotional. So I found some strings. This was very emotional to me. I was like, it like really caught my attention. You know what I'm saying? This is automatic. You know what I'm saying? And then like going back to the instrumentalists, let's say you want a guitar player. You might say, I can't play guitar. I don't know any guitar players, but I want to sample somebody. And here you go. I found me a nice guitar. I found this right here, blues. Right? And I took that little chunk. Also, I took something, a tribal piece. Just downloaded all of them, you know. Let me show you an easy way to find this stuff. You go to all tracks, and for example, let's say I'm looking for soul vocals from the 70s in North America. Use these filters. So I will go to genres. I can do, let's say, R&B soul, and I'm looking for vocals, right? So I'll go under types, and I will scroll down to vocals. And then let's say from the 70s, I'll go to the year. Let's say 1970 through 1980. Region, we'll go to North America. And see, now it filtered to the specific thing I'm looking for. And it's not just vocals. And I can do that for any type of sound that I want to. Drums, and you can combine this stuff. Guitar. Those are the kinds of things that you can do with this when it comes to filtering. It's a very easy way to look for specific things. And you just go through them and dig until you find what you like, whatever speaks to you. So let's move on to our DAW. Okay, so on the right, I have all the samples that I used. And let's just break this beat down, man. And then we'll let you hear the final product. The first thing that I wanted to use was the tribal joint, and that's over here. I didn't really do too much to it. You know, I just took a couple of chops, and then started it back. That's pretty much it. It's almost like a loop. Then let's talk about vocals. And I took different sections of that song because there was some ad libs, some lead vocals, and what I consider a hook. You know, I just took the hook and without chopping it at all. There's actually some vocal chords that she's actually singing like in harmony, and I wanted to use that as my intro. And notice the pitch is different. This is another thing that Kanye does.
Pitches things.
I just pitched it higher, you know. And that was so I could get the key that I wanted. Now, using that same sample, this is where I use the hook. And that's basically the hook. That's like me flying her into the studio. I want you to sing a hook for me. And I just use that sample. No chopping or nothing. I just used it in there. And again, that's pitched up. Another track that I use using the same vocal sample, and I use it as an ad lib, and that's over here. Little short stabs. You know what I'm saying? Just little short stabs within the song. And you'll hear that when I play everything together. I really use this sample a lot. This is how you can get the most out of samples if you want to. There was a section where she was breathing, and all I did was sample that and use it as a rhythm. Right? And that's going to be considered percussion, so I use that. Now, the last thing, as far as the vocals go, is I decided to use Autotune. Autotune is something that we all know Kanye uses a lot. Some of y'all might not like it, but it's all good. But check out how I used it. This is the part that I want you to hear. And this is more ad-libs as well. Right? So that's just regular straight sample, pitched up again, but I added an auto-tune effect, and there's tons of auto-tune effects that you can get if you don't have one. Melodyne is a popular one. I used a free one. I'm gonna show you this guy right here. This is free, by the way, Volocal, and I just threw it in, turn it on, right? And now it sounds like this. See, it gave it another texture, right? And I just used this preset, this natural preset, pitch correction, make sure it's in the right key, and that's it. You know, so that's another thing you could do. That's free, by the way, free. Notice my BPM is at 80. I didn't want to go too slow or too fast, so this is a nice mid-tempo between like 80, 90. That's a good tempo for this type of feel. Drum break. I looped it and then I broke it up. The best way I can show you is to just play it. That definitely sounds like something Kanye would use, you know what I'm saying? So when it comes to flipping samples and breaking down drum breaks, you can start at the beginning of it or come in right when the snare comes in. So I did two sections. This is my hook section right here. See what's going on? So that's my hook section. The first section is just a straight loop. See how I was playing all the way through? That's it. That's all I did for the drums. Now let's talk about the strings. The strings was beautiful. See what's going on? I'm taking pieces of that, pieces of the strings, and manipulate them the way that I want it to play. See that? And then I have it come in. So that's what I did there. I just left that at the original pace and then did it in rhythm when the beat comes in. Another element Kanye does as far as My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, all over that album is like guitars. Let's listen to a guitar that I used. Actually, the sample again was from that blues chop. Right there, see? And what I did was I just chopped that and just used that little small short section. That's it. And if you notice, that's chopped up. That's actually chopped up. You just chop up each note and play it however you want to play it. And then on top of that, I added distortion. You know, I just use this plugin and just add some distortion. Without it, it's just like weak sounding. I wanted to crunch it up, so I just use this preset. And there you have it. I actually wanted to add more instrumentation with this, so I added another guitar, which is an actual stock plugin called Amp Synth Lead. And I use that for the hook. Now that sounds real cheesy, right? But if I add this pedal board over here, I'm gonna add this fuzz, this monster fuzz, and this fuzz machine. And now listen to it. And there you have it. Now just adding fuzz, man, makes it sound bigger, you know. All right, so that's about everything. The last thing is your arrangement. The intro, I have, as you can see, my tribal drums and then the vocals. And then I'm coming in with the drums over here at measure 9, along with the hook. And over here, drums are out for the ending. And then back in. You know, that the arrangement kind of is up to you. So, you know, just get creative with it. So now I'm going to play everything together, and this is what it sounds like. Listen to all the techniques used. Here we go. Drums. Autotune. Here comes the hook. Here comes the blues sample. Verse. I'll skip to the last part. And there you have it, man. I would love to hear what you guys do. Go ahead and tag me, tag Tracklib on social media if you happen to make a beat, you know, using these techniques, and let us hear what you got. Also, guys, I will leave a special sign up link for you guys where you get 15 tracks for free. It's your man JFILT. I'm sending peace and positive energy.